So I'm going to get into what happened with you this week. We know you're at the Coin Show. You know you're checked out. We know how you feel,
Absolutely.
like you, because you're a sentient human being with a heart. So you feel horrible, I know, about everything that's been going on in
Goes without
California.
saying. Yeah, no,
But, um, and you had an interview
I
that's
did.
next week. So this is the first time you've ever teased an interview.
Yeah.
Who did you talk to?
I talked to Christopher Steele, who, as you know, I read his book, which came out in October, called Unredacted, and it was such a good book. I just, in addition to just filling in the record of who he was, what he was doing, what he saw, what he did, how he worked with the FBI, all of the stuff. It's all in there, and you get reminded of all these things that happened because we've been on this for a long time now. We've been on this for 8 years.
Yeah.
And, really on it. He's been on it for a lot longer as his job because he's the head of station for Moscow, which he's not allowed to say, by the way. British law prevents you from saying if you work for MI6, so he can't say it. He can hint around at it. It's very funny. So I was blessed to have him come on Prevail and interview him. And that's coming out not this Friday, but it is Friday. A week from today, it's going to come out.
A week from today. What was your impression of him? I'm just curious. What was he like?
First of all,
voice,
really
everything.
nice.
Yeah.
No, he has gravitas, I would say.
Okay.
He's serious, I think, and he's not somebody that you would ever look at or talk to for more than 5 minutes and be like, this guy's just making stuff up or whatever. They're trying to, you know how they do. They try to lie and create these false narratives about people, and they can't do it with him because, first of all, his bona fides are what they are, and he mentions that in the interview, they are what they are. But also, you talk to him, he's clearly not full of shit. He's not one of these, whatever. Republicans.
He's not like a media kind of guy either.
Yeah,
he's not media trained.
He's not remember in Avenatti, just as we're reliving.
Oh, yeah.
Avenatti was on TV all the time, and it was and you kind of got the sense, I liked things he was saying, but you got the sense that there was something very narcissistic-y about that guy. And Chris Steele isn't like that.
Turned out to be true.
Well, sure.
Right?
Well, what was his impression of the Steele dossier? I'm curious. What did he think of it?
What did Chris Steele think of it?
What did Chris Steele think of the Steele dossier?
Well, I mean, he wasn't, happy about it being released because it wasn't intended. Not only, and he talks about this in the things I ask him about it, because as a writer, I'm sensitive to this. This is like I thought analogous to some horrible rough draft or some email that I wrote or notes that I took for something.
It's a nightmare.
And then suddenly someone's publishing them.
Oh, it's a nightmare. It's literally
not only
a nightmare.
All of my work, my entire career is going to be based on this piece of paper that has unconditional discharge written on it, right? So and so he's up to that. But he told me that not only is it not intended to be public, it wasn't intended even to be a written thing. It was mostly notes for him to give an oral presentation when he would fill in stuff and do kind of the footnotes that you would normally read in one of these things. So it wasn't even that. So it was really
just his outline. It was his speaking
outline. It was something that he was, and there's a lot more to it.
Wow.
And it was great. For me, I was really, this was a very busy week getting ready to leave and the Coin Show and everything. And it was, I think I talked to you right after. It was really good. It was good stuff. I wasn't sure if it was going to work out and everything, and it did. And I think everyone's going to like it a lot. I think people are going to be, going to learn from it. And also the other piece about him is that reading the book, especially, he's been right about everything, everything, the shit about Putin. He's been screaming about this guy for years and years. He was talking to people in the British government about how Putin is an asshole and we shouldn't trust him. He didn't say asshole, but isn't trustworthy. We shouldn't trust him. After he invaded Georgia, that was even before Crimea. This is in 2008 or 2009.
2008, yeah.
Yeah. And since then, and he's been right. So when he specifically talks about, hey, what's going to happen down the line now? That has, for me, much more weight than almost anyone else alive talking about it. So we talk about that too.